What's going on, guys? The Ironcane here, back in a Drum Mold Breakers video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the patch notes. And if you're wondering why I sound a little down, it's because they are extending Season 3. If you guys have not seen that video, I'm discussing that where I did. They're having a live stream for the anniversary, all that stuff. Anyways, want to watch that? That video is already up. But they did announce the patch notes as well, so we're going to be looking at that. So if you're wondering, again, while I'm a little down, I'm a little upset that Season 4 is essentially getting delayed. But here we are. Let's look at what we do have for the, extension of Season 3, as they're calling it. Dragon Ball: The Breakers, patch note 3.1. 3.1, dude. Almost at the 4. Almost, dude. Alright, Dragon Ball: The Breakers. During the 829, 830 maintenance, we confirmed the following updates and bug fixes in consideration of the current state of the game. As of the above date, the latest version of all platforms is as follows. Overview of adjustments. To address changes to the game environment that have occurred due to the addition of new transfers, certain raiders have been adjusted. Maybe buffs for raiders. I think raiders do need some adjustment. Increase the ability of survivors' skill that are underutilized in order to encourage changing the skill composition. So they did this last season, so they made skills like change rocket better. They adjusted the zip line, and they also adjusted pod and some other skills. So last time they did this, it was very, very good for the game. So hopefully it's just as good as it was last time. I'm actually very happy about that, despite, the situation. All right, so adjusted contents. Raider Cell. Increase the effect range of the key detection active skill at evolution level 2. That's interesting. So this is a buff for Cell. Honestly, I think for Cell, I think anything helps. I know there's going to be some people in the comments that are probably going to be upset by this, but you got to understand, guys, a lot of people have IT these days, and even if you don't have IT, now of course you can be like sort of tunneled by Cell with his key detection. So even if you do evade and escape Cell, if he goes in your general area, key detection could snuff you out. But if you're very wise with your active skills and you're, very conservative with them and you know how to use them properly and effectively, you should be able to get out even if you are being tunneled by Cell. But of course, there are times where it doesn't matter. I understand that. But, that's why it's important to utilize the trampoline / floating device tech and stuff like that. But we'll see how crazy this is. This might sound, really crazy on paper, but who knows? It might not even be that crazy. So they also extended the effect duration of the key detection active skill at evolutions 2 through 4. Ooh, they're really buffing Cell here. So basically what they're doing is increasing the range of key detection and increasing the effect of the blue highlight. So when you actually get detected, you get a little like blue highlight of like a survivor, and it basically is going to last longer. And they're increasing the effect of the enhanced active skill key detection evolution. So they're just buffing key detection for Cell overall. So that seems to be the only buff they are applying to Cell. I don't know, man. I really want to see like a kit rework for Cell, more so than just like kind of just like buffing the kit he has now. I just feel like his kit is old and it's very lackluster. I mean, key detection is good. I don't really feel like it's overpowered in my opinion. At least in my experience, like it's definitely strong, but like it's not, for me, key detection hasn't been like the make or break for me, like winning or losing games. But let's see what they've done for Majin Buu. Adjusted the following parameters for evolution level 1. Also, guys, let me know what you feel about this in the comments below. I feel like this is going to be very controversial for a change. Personally, I don't mind. I mean, we'll see just how much of an impact it makes. But personally, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. Adjusted the following parameters for evolution level 1. Oh, this is for Spopovich. Increase the amount of evolution energy gain when the energy drain super attack hits a target. I think that is totally fair. If you're going to land this super attack on a survivor, I definitely think it needs to be buffed, and the evolution should be higher, because it is a very difficult super attack to land. So I think that's totally fair for Spopovich here. Increase the amount of evolution's energy gain when the Yamu active skill hits a target. So they're basically just buffing Yamu overall. So Yamu W. So you could see more people attempting Spopovich challenges, or actually just surviving with Spopovich overall, just because it seems like Increase the amount of energy gain. Oh, so it seems like you're just going to be gaining more energy overall. Increase the amount of evolution energy gain when finishing off survivors. Really? Increase the effect of Majin Buu Resurrection passive skill when powered up? Huh? Majin Buu Resurrections. Wait, what? Oh! So, basically what they're doing here, guys, is they're increasing the evolution speed of Spovich across the board. This is absorbing a survivor, a civilian, damaging a survivor, landing an active skill or a super attack on a survivor. So Spovich is going to be leveling up a lot faster. So this seems to be the solution to Spovich. I do think Spovich did need some help. Now we'll see how impactful this is going to be, but this is an interesting buff. This is a pretty significant buff. I guess they felt that since Spovich is easier to kill now, it made sense to make it so it's easier to get the level 2. This might make Buu very, very strong, or at least stronger than he was. So this is going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to revisit all these raiders. Is it just these guys? So they're just buffing Cell and Buu. No, nothing for Vegeta. Interesting. I don't think Frieza needed anything. I don't think the Ginyu forcing anything, like maybe a nerf somewhere, but I don't think they needed a buff. Absolutely not. But it is interesting that they buffed Cell and Buu. I think they both deserved it, but I'm a little surprised Vegeta is missing here. Alright, so for the survivors, they shortened the cooldown time for the change camouflage skill. I believe currently it sits... Actually, let me check what the cooldown is. Okay, so we look in-game. Change camouflage... Did I say change camouflage? Change camouflage is actually at 30 seconds, so it was already at a very, very short cooldown. So they're reducing it even more. Really? If you max this out, I imagine it's 25 seconds. So what are they going to make it, like 15 or 20? That might be one of the shortest cooldowns we have in the game. Like, besides this, I think the shortest one might be Listen. Yeah, Listen is, I think 20 seconds. You can get, like, as low as, like, 15 or 14 or something like that if you max it out. So that is a very interesting buff that they're doing to camouflage here. I'm very curious to see if they're going to do anything else with it. Is it really just the cooldown? They shortened the cooldown for Bancho Fan? No way. Dude, I got to do a showcase on Bancho Fan and show you guys why I don't think it needs a cooldown or a buff. Just because its cooldown is already 25 seconds if you max it out. Dude, 30 seconds is quick. If you guys don't know what Bancho Fan does, it's essentially a rocket that knocks the Raider back, makes them drop their Dragon Balls, and sends them pretty far, man. Pretty far indeed. So the fact that they're reducing the cooldown on this, I feel like I got to showcase this to you guys now, just so you know how strong it is now, and why, personally, I don't think it needs a buff. That's crazy. That's very crazy. I don't know why they felt the need to reduce Bancho Fan's active skill. Slightly reduce the durability and greatly shorten the cooldown time for Flames of Mount Frypan. Interesting. So it seems like they're doing like a pro and con type thing for this. So by reducing the durability, they, like, I guess the way they even it out, they're reducing the cooldown. Currently, this active skill, let me see where it's at. It's at, I think, 90 seconds at base, and 88 if you max it out. The most I could see them reducing this is 60. If they do any more than that, but then again, it's like the durability is already pretty low. So the fact that they're lowering it even more, like, what is it going to go down in like one Ki Blast? Like, I don't know. That's kind of wild to me. All right, shorten the cooldown of time for the Scouter active skill. Thank God, bro. There are some people on the Breakers dev team with all right, I don't want to be mean, but bro, come on, dude. Dude, this is a joke. We're Scouter, bro. I never even bothered upgrading this skill because it's just laughably stupid. The cooldown was 90 seconds. Bro, you can pick up a Scouter in a crate and use it whenever you want. Why is this 90 seconds? So I felt like this was a no-brainer. I'm very happy that they ended up fixing that, because that was absolutely ridiculous. It should have never been that long. Never. Bro, 60 seconds is kind of long for that skill. Dude, the Scouter active skill should not even have a cooldown, bro. In my opinion, shouldn't even have a cooldown. It's not even that good of an ability. Shorten the cooldown of Fake Death. Ooh, I know Bronx is going to be happy about this. Italian Bronx guy. Oh, he's going to love this one. So if you guys don't know with what Fake Death does, let me go ahead and pull it up. Fake Death knocks back the Raider. I believe it gets them to draw their Dragon Balls. Does it negate Lock-On? Causes enemies to flinch. I don't know if it negates Lock-On, but it may. But it knocks back the Raider. Basically knocks back the Raider. So it's very short cooldown, 30 seconds. So they can reduce it even more. Seems like they're reducing a lot of cooldowns, man. This is wild. Shorten the cooldown for the item search active skill. This is Android 16's active skill. Where is it? Item search. Yeah, this is, bro. They're reducing a lot of cooldowns of skills that are 30 seconds, and I don't really understand why. I feel like they think that by reducing these skills cooldowns by so much that it's gonna make people want to use them. Like no, I don't think that's what's gonna work. It's just like the skills themselves, if they have value, it doesn't really matter the cooldown, right? Like instant transmission has one of the longest cooldowns in the game, but for good reason, right? And I feel like even if it had a longer cooldown, people would still use it just because of the value that it holds. But just my 2 cents. All right. Item search. Increase the effect range. Ensure the cooldown time for the listen active skill. So this means you're basically going to be able to see the highlights of civilians. And the short, bro, I just mentioned before how listen literally has the shortest cooldown in the game, to my knowledge. I mean, we could do a quick look through here. I have all the active skills in the game. Yeah. Listen has the shortest cooldown, and they're about to make it even short. What are they going to make it 9 seconds? Like, well, I mean, it's not really going to change much, but I just find that very interesting. Reduce the time. I'm sorry? What? Reduce the time needed to call the escape time machine for the SOS passive skill. If you guys don't know about my grudge against SOS, SOS is basically the most selfish skill in Dragon Ball: The Breakers. So basically what SOS does is allows you to call the escape time machine faster, right? So they initially buffed how long it took to call the escape time machine overall, which is a soft buff to SOS in general. And as you can see, the call speed is 100%. So they want to increase the skill by 100%. And what this is going to do is encourage more players to be ETM gamers. If you guys don't know what ETM gamers are essentially players that do not participate in the match, or at the very least don't participate during the defense phase of Dragon Ball: The Breakers, which is when you're defending the STM, which is the super time machine, and when it activates, you win, right? So what these ETM players do is they either let their teammates die, so the ETM spawns when there's 3 players remaining, or they will let the STM be destroyed and use the ETM that way to guarantee their escape. But the thing is, escaping via the ETM is not a win. And that's why, like me and a lot of other players and creators, go for the STM as hard as they can, because, you know, going through the ETM is essentially losing, but just like, you know, surviving, right? It's surviving, it's not winning. If you look in the game manual, escaping via the ETM is not winning. All right, but I don't think that was a necessary change at all, but they did what they did. Increase the change power gain. This is so funny because I literally just did an updated showcase. I don't know if it's up today or not, but I did an updated showcase on Princely Pride that if it's not out now, it's probably going to be out tomorrow, regarding Princely Pride, and I upgraded to max. And I don't want to spoil how the showcase went, but if you could look in my face and in my eyes, yeah, that's how it went. So I'm pretty happy that they upgraded this skill, because it was a meme. It's like genuinely a meme. Like I've memed on like Copium's Delights, but like Princely Pride is generally terrible. Like you were trolling if you use it. All right, so they also reduced the time needed to set the final power key for Time Patroller's duty. I think that's fair. I think the best passives in the game are passives that are active throughout the entire match. And because this active or passive skill would only be active during, you know, a scenario where you need to plant the final key, which is good. It counters raider camping, right? So this is the only passive in the game that can actually, not necessarily, it's not like a sure shot counter to raider camping, but it's sure as hell going to help you, right? And it looks like they are going to allow it to help you even more versus raider camping. So I'm definitely very interested in exploring this and see how it does combat raider camping for keys. All right, so they reduced how long the key effect lasts when caught by the raider while using key control passive skill. Only active while hiding. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Increase the movement and revival speed when moving and reviving allies with a temporary retreat active skill. Okay. All right. Well, this is an error because it's a passive skill. But I'm glad to know they know that they made a huge mistake with Yajirobe's passive skill. So if you guys don't know what Yajirobe's passive skill is, it is temporary retreat. Basically allows you to drag a down survivor, but the con of being able to move the survivor is that you move incredibly slow and the healing rate is abysmal. So essentially what they're doing here is making it better. They're increasing the revival speed and the movement speed. So hopefully now it's actually decent, because before it was also a meme passive skill. Major bug fixes. Fix the bug in which the range of the Dragon Change level 2 Ki Blast attack for the Frieza 4th form transfer is longer than intended. Interesting. I believe his Ki Blast were the lasers, so they reduced it. I didn't realize it was that crazy. I mean, I thought they were okay, but I didn't realize it was that crazy. Interesting. All right. In-game errors and adjustments planned for future updates. I hope Raider Q is in here. An issue where the camera is in a different position after performing certain super attacks. Fair. An issue where when a survivor uses the instant transmission active skill, Raiders can still hit the survivor even when they should be out of range if said Raider uses certain skills at a particular time. So this is referring to skills like a super attack where someone is sent after a survivor. So like this works for the Cyberman, when Nappa calls the Cyberman, and when you do the Yamu call with Spelbovich. So this means when you pop instant transmission, if you time the Cyberman call or the Yamu call just right, they will actually spawn where that survivor teleported to and down them. So they're removing that. So I know a lot of people have been telling me to do that with Spelbovich. The reason why I said, like, I mean, I pulled it off like once. It was really cool. But like, the reason why you shouldn't get too used to that is because they're going to get rid of it, right? All right. An issue where Raiders can still hit a survivor using... Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is basically what I was talking about. So it's going for the active skill and the super attacks. An issue where the game would lock the attempting start a long match with Battlesuit once. This is a like a skin error. Like the game would lock up if you had a certain skin. Interesting. An issue. Okay, so there's... Wow, bro. They're still working on... Like... This is crazy. So they're working on an issue in which the landing delay notification skill unintentionally causes actions other than running to speed up. What they mean here is when you use landing delay nullification, if you pop the change rocket or Kaioken rush, this will actually give you a burst of speed using those skills, and it's not supposed to work that way. They announced that this was an issue like the day after these skills came out, and I believe that was like April. So they're still working on this, and they're still working on Raider Q. Still here at the very bottom, man. I mean, I wonder if this has to do with the delay. I'll be honest with you. If this is what they are working on during the delay, that's not enough. But that's for another video. But that is it in terms of the patch. I think the biggest thing that I saw here in terms of what is big, I think Time Patroller's Duty could be pretty crazy. SOS is going to be super annoying. Princely Pride seems interesting. Fake Death, I feel like Fake Death might become meta. I mean, if you guys have not seen Italian Bronx guy use it, Bancho Fan is crazy. Bancho Fan is crazy. So I think in terms of the adjustments, Bancho Fan is the craziest to me. Fake Death. SOS is kind of like, why? Princely Pride is interesting. Time Patroller's Duty is interesting. And Temporary Retreat is interesting as well. But yeah, I mean, These don't seem as significant as the previous balance adjustment, but I'm all for it. I mean, Go Go Gum definitely needed the help. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Raider buffs, I think Cell definitely needed the help, in my opinion. Maybe not in this area specifically, in terms of, like, the key sense. I don't feel like finding Raiders is necessarily, or finding Survivors is necessarily Cell's issue. It's more so a kit issue. But, you know, maybe this will help. For Spopovich, I think this is great for Spopovich, but I'm kind of wondering if this is too good. This might be too good for Spopovich. I can see increasing the evolution gains via super attacks, active skills, and melee. But for Survivor downs and civilian absorptions, that seemed a little unnecessary to me personally. But we'll see. We'll see if it's, like, overpowered or not when this actually comes through. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think overall about the update. I think a lot of interesting stuff was announced. This was actually a pretty sizable update. So we got Raider buffs, Survivor adjustments. Honestly, these are buffs. So, like, Raiders are getting buffed and Survivors are getting buffed. Nothing is really getting nerfed too heavily from what I've seen. At least nothing at the moment. Like, this is all stuff that's being worked on, so even if people that are upset about the laying delay, like, changing, that's not going to come for a little bit anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think this, you know, patch is a W. I think the last one was a little bit better, but you guys let me know in the comments below what you think, what you're most excited for to experiment with in this patch. I think for me, it's definitely going to be Spopovich, and probably Boncho fan, honestly. But yeah, guys, that's me. Like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below again what you thought about the patch, and subscribe to the Ironcane channel for more patch notes, reviews, showcases, rage comps, all that good stuff. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care, stay safe, have fun, peace out.